This video has been brought to you by Dual Bits.
Hello everyone, my name is Oliver Bass, otherwise known as Bass from the Past, alongside none other than Pyro J, and welcome to the esports.net recap show. This is a show recapping key moments and key events from around the world of esports in the last week. Today, we're going to kick this one off with none other than talking about how France is finally going to be able to host a CS Blast Major after multiple years of being, well, without really much in the scene there. They're going to do it in 2023 is going to be when they're going to host their first major. And for those that do not know, Blast, they run a circuit every single year with millions of dollars being put through it. And the majors in particular usually have somewhere about over $1 million in them individually. It's a huge opportunity for Blast. They are one of the premier circuits for CS around the globe, really competing against Valve themselves for a lot of these prize pools, which is why, like we said, this prize pool this time, Pyro, is going to be huge for France.
Yeah, you can't undervalue the reward that's being provided here. Like $1 million for a major, above that, enormous, especially when you consider from Blast TV's perspective, $2 million of winnings over the course of these events is just monumental. And if you want to talk monumental, you can also talk about the fact that their president Macron was announcing this as well. He was talking about a recent charity event that was awarded $11.5 million. Well, you know, their currency, but also the fact that this major is happening. And when you consider France as like, you know, this major esports hub, you and I work so much in Rocket League, right, Bass? You can talk about Carmine Corey. You can talk about all the incredible French players that are top of the world class e-athletes. I mean, with this event here, after only having the latest recent big event being in 2019 for League of Legends Worlds, this is big for France.
It's not only big for France, but it's going to put a lot of eyes on the French scene as well. With over 500,000 viewers on average for most of the Blast events, it's going to put a lot of new eyes onto a country that has been really encouraging of this. Like you said, Macron's the one talking about this, and he's spoken about this before, being very enthusiastic to have different esports have their events within France. The only condition there has been that they need to speak in French within the venue, but we've seen that from events before. So it is no different than a lot of what we have seen there before. But again, it is still a very big deal. The reality is that France is trying to embrace that. Like you said, not only do they have Rocket League players, but there's a lot of Fortnite players that come through there. CS has a huge scene there. LoL has a huge scene there. Really, most esports on the planet have a lot of French players that not necessarily dominate, but they are definitely prevalent within the scene, which means this is going to definitely be an extremely prevalent land. Again, with over $1 million on the line there, it is going to be a huge event. It's going to happen in 2023. It is not going to be the finals for Blast. It will just be a major, but who knows? Maybe they will host a finals in the future. We could see. Right now, all we do is sit here and anticipate, and we are both very excited to see what happens in France in the future, but we also do want to talk about something else here today. We want to talk about the fact that DrDisrespect is responding to a Deadrop versus COD plagiarism drama. So, to sort of summarize this one and kind of make this pretty succinct, both of these guys have a skin that's, well, let's call it similar. It is a blue skull figure with a hooded sort of black hoodie on top of them. And the thing is DrDisrespect came out and quite literally kind of called out the makers of COD for saying that they ripped off his skin. His exact wording, if I can find this, was a pretty critical statement out of it. Yeah, bunch of slimy guys. And it's, you and I are a little bit confused by this one because we get what DrDisrespect is going after here, but it's a bit weird to come from a game that already has so much controversy surrounding it.
Yeah, you're talking about a Call of Duty game that already goes through this design process for many, many months, right? This is something that already might have been prepared out of Call of Duty. And, you know, yeah, for Deadrop, there is controversy from the get-go. Like you said, Bass, like, let's start with it's prominently an NFT game, okay? This is kind of carving out a new space in the gaming network that DrDisrespect is spearheading, and give Disrespect some credit, right? He's got a ton of knowledge in like shooters and map making. He's done this before. He should be able to spearhead a great project here, but it's also this NFT based game. So why is there so much hype? Why is there so much excitement, controversy, sensitivity even around these skins? Well, it's NFT based. The skins, the decals, the looks, everything's going to be a bit more prominently focused upon and a little bit sensitive if other games are matching their move. Like, Bass, we've all been on Twitter and seen NFT accounts and all the parody meme accounts, you know, taking snippets of their NFTs and saying, haha, I copied you, what are you gonna do? Right? It's just that form into this game. So, of course, there's going to be controversy.
And not only is there going to be controversy, but again, for the perspective of DrDisrespect here, because it is an NFT, it holds value. To see an NFT all of a sudden go into a game where, yes, it holds value because you purchased the skin, but it is not an NFT itself. It is a separate thing altogether. Probably got under his skin just a little bit. But that being said, it is still one of those things where I think you and I can both agree this is probably not something that was A, intentional, and B, probably something that Call of Duty had in the works for months. Like you said, they work on these skins. They put these skins out for a long time, and although they are very similar, it is also, like I said before, a pretty default skin. It's a blue ghostly figure which has a skull sort of face and then a black hood on top of it. It's not actually something we haven't seen before. I've seen this from other video games in slightly variated ways, but I do think it's one of these things where DrDisrespect probably didn't quite know the entire situation and sort of just came off rip calling them out to try and either A, stir controversy, or B, try to sort of get an answer from this. Unfortunately, it's kind of one of these things where I think the best word to use for it is just drama. There's not much else to really be provided here. I think the reality is that DrDisrespect probably tried to do this to just kind of, again, stir up some controversy, stir up something to sort of show it towards his game, and maybe try to get an answer out of Activision. The thing is that, in my opinion, maybe don't do that in public. That feels like something you could probably take behind the scenes, try to get a contact somewhere at Activision, and try and talk to them about that, rather than go into Twitter and basically immediately calling out the team, especially considering it's a sensitive time right now for Activision. They are moving over games. Warzone 2 is just around the corner. Modern Warfare 2 is just around the corner. So to see Call of Duty kind of get into this hot water just before the release of their next game is probably not what they were looking for. All around, it just kind of feels like a messy situation. I don't really know what else to say besides that.
Well, all we could do is guesswork, right, Bass? Yep. I mean, there's also the side of the coin where folks have called out Call of Duty for remaking skins from other games before. Yeah. So it could be this common theme as well that, you know, DrDisrespect doesn't just want to make drama, make content out of it, but also, you know, kind of point a finger and say, hey, you're kind of stepping on some toes here. Try not to do it again. We'll see what happens, right? Because, again, these skins, these decals, these looks, these designs, they're very particular. They're going to be very prominent for this Deadrop game that we have to wait for. So the drama's let loose, Bass, and we'll just have to wait for more because you just know there's going to be more.
And, well, yeah, we are going to have to wait because the game is not out yet. Similarly, neither is the next COD out yet. So, instead, we'll wait till next week. That is all that we have got this week here for our show today. I hope you guys enjoyed it again. My name is Oliver Bass, otherwise known as Bass of the Past, alongside none other than Pyro J. And stay tuned next week as we will be coming back with another esports.net recap show. Have a good one.
Sponsored by Dual Bits.